Coming up next on Get Caught in a Net.
Get caught in a net with Annette. For your mind, body, and soul. Get caught in a net with Annette. It's your intellectual radio show. Here to inspire you and encourage you to be your very best. Get caught in a net with Annette.
You are now tuned in to Mind, Body, and Soul with Annette, where your host, Annette Harris, analyze intriguing life questions and concerns, such as, do Christians suffer from mental illness? Have you wondered why they act abnormal? Or you may ask, what is really going on in their minds? Do you need Annette? Well, keep listening for a biblical understanding of the psychology of the mind.
Hey guys, welcome to another wonderful segment of Mind, Body, and Soul with Annette. I'm your host, your girl, Annette Harris. I am also your certified mental health ambassador and award-winning author of that bestseller, Surviving a Silenced Heartbeat. Listen, guys, I want you to come on in. I'm excited. You know, I always get excited on Wednesdays, right? I say, if you see my face at 12 noon Central Standard Time on a Wednesday, it's time for you to come on in and get caught in the net. Before we go further, Lord, we thank you for all things. We thank you for who you are and what you've done, what you're going to do, how you're blessing us and helping us and giving us strength and wisdom and direction of what to do. We pray that you will get the glory out of this segment and everything we go to say and do, and bless our guests on today. In Jesus' name we pray. And the opening part of Hosea 4:6 states, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee. And again, we're excited to be here on this afternoon. So grateful to be amongst everyone that are going to join us. You may watch it live. You may come back and watch the pre-recorded session. But either way, we just appreciate you supporting us. Listen, today we are going to feature more 2024 Distinguished Author Guild nominees. But you know what? Let me let you know. You can watch us on Facebook, my page, Annette Get Caught in the Net. And then also we are live on my YouTube channel, Get Caught in the Net, and Instagram and Get Caught in the Net. Listen, you can't miss us. If one of your avenues go down, hop on over to the other one because we don't want you to miss a beat. I'm going to bring these wonderful women of God in on this afternoon. It is a blessing to be able to be acquainted, to get to know authors. I mean, people are still writing books. Do you hear me? The books of the book industry has not gone away. My publisher and also my really good friend, she told me everyone has a book within them. Now, whether you tell it or not is a different story, but everyone has a book within them because you have your own journey. You have your own, whatever you've gone through, whatever you've faced. And I see you guys coming in and joining us. I see a lot of authors that are hopped on today, but I'm going to introduce these beautiful women. Look, now, if y'all see at the bottom of their names, they have, we women, we wear a lot of hats. They are founders of organizations. They're multi-award winning authors. And I see another host on here. Okay, so we're going to start with author Bobby Struchin. Did I pronounce the last name right?
Absolutely not.
Okay, what we're going to do, I'm going to call her author Bobby. Okay, so to pronounce the last name for me.
It's pronounced Struchin.
Struchin. Okay, so I get a little accent where I wasn't supposed to.
That's all right.
Okay. But you know what? I always tell people I don't want to butcher anybody's name because your name is you. And so I don't want to take away from that. So thank you. How are you doing on this afternoon?
I am doing good. I am so honored to be here with you. Thank you for giving me this amazing opportunity, Annette.
You are so welcome. You're so welcome. I told her I love her little southern accent she has. I love it. I love it. Okay, and author Linda, I see you putting on something. You want to show us something else? Is that what you want to show us?
No, I need to have this on.
Oh, okay. What does your man say though? No fear, no
No
fear
fear
here.
here.
Psalm 91 and 10. Come on now. Let's see. I don't know if that's what you want to talk about today, but that's a message right there. How are you doing
Mhm.
on today, author Linda?
I am doing outstanding, and I'm here from in the great city of Montgomery, Alabama.
Okay, I got two Southerners here so far. We got to see where author Cynthia is coming from. But
Yes.
wonderful. I'm so glad to have you here with us on this afternoon, and excited to hear about all of you and your journey. So, author Cynthia, come on, how are
Hi,
you doing on this afternoon?
I am doing fantastic, Annette. Thank you for having us. Thank you for that warm introduction. And me
Mhm.
too, I love all things mental illness.
All
So
right.
I am doing fantastic. Linda, you put on that mask. Today, ladies, I will actually be doing my first sermon and I will be speaking about fear. So that was confirmation. I just wanted to say that. But I
Wow.
am doing fine to be just amongst these beautiful women. And
Okay.
this is what we do, support each other,
That's
right?
what we
So
do.
I'm doing
Definitely.
fantastic.
Definitely. None, yeah, God, he knows
He's
how
good.
put everything together, right? He's,
Yes,
put
yes,
this in the pot, put that in the pot, and we don't know a
yes.
lot of times what he's doing until he does it. But we just thank God for him directing. So
Yes,
I'm excited to have you ladies here on today. I really am.
yes.
So we're gonna jump right in. Let me recognize a few of you that have jumped in and made comments. Please, if you're watching us on today, we would love to hear from you if you have questions or you just want to encourage these authors on today. Please go ahead and throw your comments into the comment section and we will try to recognize you on today. Gina, that wonderful queen, I tell you, I love her so much. She's here. She says she's super excited. Let's go. And let's see, author Natalie, come on now. Happy Wednesday to you too, my sis. Great to have you. And then I also see author Farron. She says she's super excited. Hello, dear. How are you? Thank you for joining us on today. Listen, I don't know if I said it, but I really need you all to push this particular interview out by sharing, by tagging individuals. Let someone know that Mind, Body, and Soul with Annette is on the air. It's time for them to come on in to get caught in the net, to get caught in and listening to these authors on today, okay? So please make sure you do. You can tag them directly into it. And so if they're able to, sometimes they can listen live, or sometimes they may have to, some people are at work, they have to come back and listen to the recorded version. Who is this? Sabrina says, I love to see women of power. Come on, I do too. I do too. I love it. Thanks for joining us. Janice Pritchard, thank you. She says, greetings, ladies. And she has already liked and shared. I love me some Janice Pritchard. Thank you. I love you. Appreciate you. All right, so we're going to jump right in because we want to talk to these young ladies about their exciting nomination. I'm telling you, it's a blessing to be associated with Distinguished Authors Guild. Let me just say that right off the bat, and I'm sure that it is probably exciting for you all to be nominated. I'm going to jump right. I'm not even going to go through my questions from one to whatever number I have. I want to jump in and ask you about your thoughts on being nominated first and foremost. Let's start there. What were your thoughts when you found that you were nominated for the 2024 Distinguished Authors Guild Award? Let's start with author Linda. Tell me your thoughts.
First of all, I want to thank you for having me on the show. And I want to thank DAG for the platform to be allowed to have people to be nominated. I want to speak personally from a personal standpoint initially. I was super excited. It's very validating because it's a vulnerable experience to put your information out there and for someone to say, okay, it's worthy and they don't know you. And so that's, they're not your cousins, your uncles, or anything like that. So it was very validating. It gave me author confidence to keep on going. And from a professional standpoint, it was more about, okay, you can do this. You're among people that are great, that are going to encourage you. And DAG is not just some place where you just show up and you receive award. There is a community. And this community of authors are going to lift you up. They're going to make your little light shine, and they're going to carry you through and tell you some wonderful professional things that you can do. So even if you make it to the finalists and you don't win, you still have that community that's going to celebrate you.
Ooh,
So
I
that's what
love
it did
that.
for me.
Okay. Well, you know, when you said something there, when you said community, it is a community. It really is. And you know, I don't know. The Lord knows timing and everything. I'm going to say I'm surprised that it took me this long to get involved, but I just wrote my book in 2022. But but I'm grateful for that connection. And you're so right. You actually described it perfectly. It is a community. And even, you know, you saying if you get nominated and you get to the finals and you don't actually win, you still didn't lose out. You still didn't lose out because you have gained this wonderful community.
Yes.
And I mean, I'm seeing them all. They're hopping on here now. I met so many people, you know, even through this organization. And so thank you for saying that. So author Bobby, and I'm not even going to try to do your last name again. Can you talk to us about what about the nomination? How did it make you feel?
Oh my goodness, it was amazing because in writing my book with my mother, which is really her biography, it was a heart issue. I wrote it. We began it when she was living, and she passed before it was finished, and so it was kind of. I mean, I don't have words for actually having the book published in the first place, let alone getting a call one day and saying, guess what? The book has been nominated by DAG for an award. My mind is like, I've already won in the honor of my mother because an untold story is now being told through the platform of the Distinguished Authors Guild. She wanted her voice to be heard. That's all. She just wanted her voice to be heard, and so that she could say what God did in her life without anybody tampering with it. And DAG, this platform, took that dream of my mother's now, and now they have it all across the United States. I mean, when you go on the internet, her voice is captured and it's flowing. And for that, DAG, I am already honored. I am already awarded. And even more so, DAG has honored the memory of my mother. And I say, thank you. Thank you.
Wow, that was really touching. Now, I'm telling you, don't y'all come over here making me cry now. All right. Yeah. But no, that was very touching. And I can see, you know, how it blessed you. And
That's
you know,
right.
when you think about it, it's like, wow. It brings everything into perspective. It really does. And you said that your efforts in writing the book, you already won. You know, because you were able to write about your mom. And you know, I get a little moms, I get a little sensitive when you talk about moms. So I can understand where you are and what you're feeling at that point. And Gina just said this, and I couldn't have said it better. She just wrote, author Bobby, your mother is so proud. I believe she is. I believe she is. Woohoo. Okay, y'all not doing this to me today. All right, come on. Author Cynthia, come on, talk to us about what the nomination meant to you.
You know what? The nomination meant everything to me and it built my faith. This book was written during a very hard time that I was going through, ending a 31-year marriage. And I was just sitting up talking about God, talking to God. And I said, you know what? I don't want anybody to feel this feeling. And at that time, God started downloading things on me. This book was written in the midst of pain.
Oh,
And to see him take this book and put me on a platform to be able to tell truth, free people, let them know that they can forgive, let them know that they still have value, let them know that nothing can stop them, that God is there with them. It is an honor Because God said, if you do what I said do, I'll make a platform for you. And
Yeah.
He didn't just make a platform, He introduced me into this community of lovely people. I've learned things I didn't even know how to make a PDK, the different names. I mean, I've learned so much that, I don't have to go back to school. These ladies are patient, these ladies are kind. So it has built my faith and removed me out of fear.
Mhm, mhm.
Mhm.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
Thank you.
Your book was written uh, out of pain. Yeah, that's
Yes,
deep. That's deep.
yes.
And it just reminded me what author Linda said earlier. It's could be a little scary,
Hmm.
putting your own personal life out there for all the world to
Yeah.
see. So when you start writing stuff, when it's something personal, man, you better be sure that's what you want to do because
Right.
it's out there. And
That's
Hmm.
right.
author Bobby, you mentioned it's all over the world now. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I can understand. I'm connecting with the three of you on today. This is just amazing because I know when I wrote my book and when it was almost time to publish, I got nervous. I said, wait
Yeah.
a minute, everything got to be right now.
Yeah.
No misspells, no this, no that. It's got to be right because it's getting ready to go out. Now, it's one thing when
Right.
it's in my hand and I'm writing it.
Hmm.
Another thing when it's getting published,
And it's gone.
okay, this has to be correct. So I totally understand what you guys are saying on today. Dr. Shayna Gordine, thank you for coming in. We appreciate you. She says, good afternoon. Gina did say, and I want to encourage you, those of you that are watching, she said, all of these authors have amazing books. Pick up a copy. So we're gonna talk about your books. I need to know the book titles. Give me the book titles. How did we come up with these book titles? How long did it take? Now, those are your three questions. Talk about your books. You're like, really? Yes. Author Bobby, let's start with you. The name of your book.
The
How
name of
how
the
did you
book.
how did you come up with your title, and how long did it take you to write it?
The name of the book is Walking on Streets of Gold. Walking on Streets of Gold. The title came about when my mother was declining in health. She would oftentimes say when she was dealing with the symptoms of she'd had several strokes and
Mm,
open heart surgery, and there were times she said, I'm just tired, I need some rest. And we kind of knew what the rest meant.
mm,
And but in that season of that transition and declining of health, she would say, listen, um there's a thing about passing that you don't really die, because there are no dead people with Jesus. When you leave and you're with Jesus, you're not dead anymore. You're still alive. And she says, and where I'm headed, when God give me some rest, I'm headed to streets of gold. And that's where I'm gonna be. I'm gonna be walking on streets of gold. Now, it was a couple of years after she would consistently say that. And so that became the title of the book, Walking on Streets of Gold, because it's her testimony of where she was going. And then up under the title of the book is Bessie, the Overcomer. And that's in the book title. And it came about because the months leading up to her transition, she would say, I'm an overcomer. Everything that I've been through, I'm not a victim of it. I'm not a victim of a bad marriage. I'm not a victim of church hurt. I'm not a victim of any type of abuse, physical, mental, verbal. She says, I'm no longer a victim or a survivor. I'm an overcomer. So the book is Walking on Streets of Gold, Bessie, the voice of an overcomer. And it
mm,
took maybe, I'm gonna say, I want to say almost 4 years in the making when she told me this. She said, I'd like to be able to say what Jesus did for me, without people trying to tell me the right way to say it so that
Uh-oh.
I don't offend nobody. I want to say what Jesus did for me, even if it ain't the popular testimonies, about a house, car, money, food on the table, clothes on the back. She said, God did more than that for me. And I want to tell it and tell it like it is. And so when I wrote what she would be telling me when we were together, some of that stuff is that skeleton in the closet testimony that you may not want to say that on the mic at church, but it doesn't change the fact there are people suffering with it, and it doesn't change the fact that Jesus can cause you to overcome it. So there we go. I wrote the book with her, and then after her passing, there was more to write, but I give glory to God for Dr. Barbara Whitehead and Dr. Carolyn Stevens. They really nourished me into letting that book go. Because if we've been saying so far, there's stuff once it's written on the paper and it's out there, everybody's there to see it and judge it and criticize. And I don't want nobody to think bad of my mama because she's got testimony of God healing ugly stuff. I said, well, I don't want to put that one in there because I know so-and-so ain't going to like it. So-and-so going to be mad and other people going to be like, you can't say that. But then that was the foundation of the book.
Yeah.
That I'm walking on streets of gold. I'm with Jesus. And I'm going to tell you that Jesus heals you and he doesn't leave you as a survivor. He calls you to be an overcomer. And she says, I'm not going to hold my tongue. The cat does not have my tongue. That's the best Lee Hadley phrase. Cat ain't got my tongue. I'm going to tell what Jesus did. And there's somebody suffering with it.
Yeah.
Maybe I want to own up to it. But there are people suffering with the same things I did. So now she's gone. And the very title of this book, Walking on Streets of Gold, will minister to people who have lost their loved ones, not just your mom. Yeah. Anybody you've lost, even people you've lost that are still living. This book will cause you to understand that you will never lose love. Never. And there's a healing in those pages. Get the book, Walking on Streets of Gold. Bessie, the Overcomer, by none other than her own daughter, Bobby Stretchen. Girl, go ahead.
I love it. Okay. My goodness. You know what you've just done there? You've brought us into your journey. I feel like I knew your mother. I feel like, you know what I'm saying? There was that connection there, the way you just described everything. It just has a beautiful personal touch. So yes, I encourage each of you to make sure you get that book, because your mother sound like one of them old mothers in the church. That's what she sounded like to me. I don't know if she was, but that's what she sounded like. And I'm able to connect and appreciate that. And her saying, I want to be able to tell my story. I want nobody to put no, words in my mouth. I want to say it myself. So beautiful. Thank you for that. Wow. That's deep. Before I move on to the next individual, let me ask you real quick. So you said the book was not finished by the time she passed. How long after she passed was it published?
I want to say 2 years after she passed. Then it was published, and even that was a struggle, not to take up a lot of time, but it's important even to speak from the aspect of writing a book, because it may seem as though you're alone, but just like through this community of DAG, there are people that are really just on standby waiting to help you birth that book. So I could not have gotten it out even 2 years later, like I said, if it were not for Dr. Barbara Whitehead and Dr. Carolyn Stevens, it would still be in my bedroom, in the closet, on the top shelf, and I would still be just thinking. But It's out 2 years later.
2 years later.
It's out.
Okay. All right. Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you again for sharing that. That's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Listen, I'm going to let author Spencer come on and talk, because I see a little message on here. Cynthia Spencer, that's my mother. They took me in
I
from Madrid, Spain. Excuse me. Well, thank you so
All
much.
right. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. That's my son. Hey, Brandon.
All
So the
right.
name of my book is Going Through, exactly what it says, Going Through. I did tell you all what I was going through. The book helps. I'm also a mental health specialist. I'm a Christian counselor, and I see now that a lot of Christians are losing.
Yeah.
You know, if God has given us everything that we need, why are we losing? You
Why?
know why we're losing? Because we don't think we're going to go through some stuff. We're going to go through some stuff on this earth, and we're supposed to not look like we're going through it. We're supposed to be in the image of Christ as we're going through it. And this is what this book is helping us do. It's helping Christians understand their authority, understanding their right, and believing that things has to change for us. It does not matter what it is. And in this book, I tell of three of the most difficult times in my life. There was many more, but the three most difficult, and how God's word got me through each and every time. We have to stop losing. We have to win. We do win. We have everything we need. So this book gives us tools. It helps us. It's just so much information, too much to impact now. But you can buy the book, and you will be able to get through anything. You'll know that nothing is too hard for you. And like you all said, I use my honest story to let people know He did it for me. He can do it for you.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Thank
Honey,
you.
you had me at mental health. Okay.
Okay.
That's my baby. Psychology, mental health, that's my baby.
Yes,
I'm
mine
like a kid
too.
in a candy store. That's my
Yes,
background. So you had me right
yes.
there. Beautiful. Going through. And you explained that so eloquently. I appreciate that, because I don't think that we do realize that we are going to go through,
That's right.
or,
Mhm.
not, sometimes we don't realize, but then other times we don't, we don't necessarily want to go through,
No.
who wants to go through?
Ooh.
And so it's something that we have to deal with, but it's beautiful to have individuals like you, to pen a book, to show us how, to help us to get through.
Yes,
And I believe God is pleased.
thank you.
At the end of the day, I always tell people, the only thing I want to do is help somebody else. That's
Yes,
that's what I want to do.
yes,
And I believe you're doing that through your book, telling people
thank you.
how, to go through, because you may be faced with this, that, and the other.
Yes,
But you can make it. You can make it.
that's
Somebody talked
right.
about being an overcomer earlier, so
Yes.
we can make it. Um, this is beautiful. I am loving this. Now, if either of you, because I see author Linda, this multi-award winning author, has, I believe she has her book in the background. Author Bobby and author Cynthia, if you have your book with you, you can hold it up at some point, if it's near you. So let's hear from author Linda right now. Give you the same questions: the title of your book, how'd you come up with the title? How long did it take you to write it? So talk to us today.
Okay, I'm going to be obedient to those questions. But first of all, since you said you like mental health, I want to get my plug in. I'm a college professor at Alabama State University, and I teach in the area of
Ooh.
clinical mental health. So my books were actually birthed out of my background. So for DAG, I'm a second time being I won the first time all five of my books. So this time I have two books. One is called Bad Girls of Montgomery.
Okay.
The second one is Miss Linda, Little Miss Linda cope with divorce. So I think that would give you some
Oh,
context as to how I came about my books and what my books really mean. So in terms of the title of Bad Girls, I really like history. But more particularly, when I'm reading about history, I try to focus on women. I was born and reared in a town called Mount Bayou. It's an all-black town in the great state of Mississippi. And so this book is about a little girl who actually travels from Mount Bayou, Mississippi to Montgomery, Alabama. And this is the first year they're teaching a class on social justice. But the teacher said, this is not going to be any old road trip, that you have to do some kind of report. So little Miss Linda was super excited about the women that she found out about in the Montgomery bus boycott movement. We all know about Rosa Parks, but there were several other women that were also a part who are on the cover of this book. And so this is what this book is. It introduces the audience to those women, but it don't just stop there. Little Miss Linda was so excited she got to go to several sites, so it allows the reader to visit these various sites around Montgomery, Alabama, so exposes them to that. It also, she was so excited, she wanted to have something. She created the Montgomery Shuffle. So she teaches young children about how to do the Montgomery Shuffle. And so this is what this book actually entails and it's about. And BAD stands for something, because when she told her parents this is what you're going to do, they said, what do you mean BAD girls? And she said, BAD girls stands for bold and determined. And she said, when I grow up, that's the type of woman I want to be. So everybody should be thinking about who are the bad girls that are in your town. And you can get both of these books on Amazon. So I said, go out. You don't wait till you get off. Order it right now. Now the divorce book, we know we can talk about statistics. People get married, and out of those marriages, 80% of those marriages don't make it. So, and I know that's a high number, but children are impacted as a result of this. Yeah. So this book deals with little Miss Linda trying to cope with divorce. Not only the divorce is an adult thing, but she was a part of this. So her parents sat her down and told her, she said, well, it must be my fault. They said, no, it's not your fault. But what is unique about this book is they created an I love you job. And she got to put in this job questions that she had. And these were questions like, who am I going to live with? She was used to both her parents showing up with something at the school. So she was able to ask these particular questions. So these questions are in the book that allow the children to talk about their emotions and their feelings. And so, because she noticed that they were doing things separately, but she really didn't understand. So when she came home and they were sitting on the couch, she said, oh, this is a good thing. But they were there to nurture her and tell her. And I like how the mother did it. She said, things go through seasons. She said there's a fall, there's a summer, there's a spring. And so that's the way they presented it to her. And when these seasons are ending, like we're in the fall right now, but I got my arms out because I'm still holding on to the summer. But they let her know that sometimes in life, it's not because we don't love each other, but our season has come to an end and we want to release each other so we can go and do something different. I know it's kind of sound like a fantasy, but sometimes that's a reality, but the children are in pain. So go out and get this book right now. Do not wait, because you're going to need it in church or however, or working with school counselors. So little Miss Linda copes with divorce. Thank you for this opportunity.
Beautiful, beautiful. I love it, honey. Yes, y'all fired me up today. I love it. Okay, so you have the bad girls, and you said that's bold and what?
And determined.
And determined. I love it. I love it. Yes, yes, yes. Come on now. Tell us who we should be and how we should be. Let's see. Bobby, author Bobby, she has on her screen her book, Walking on Streets of Gold. Yeah, yes, that's one of the mothers in the church. I see that picture.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That is her.
Beautiful. Bessie, the voice of an overcomer. Did I say that right?
Ma'am. You said it perfectly.
Okay, wonderful. So you guys see that on here. Now, are all of your books available on Amazon?
Yes, Amazon, and I also receive orders through Cash App as well, because when they Cash App me, I'm able to do a little personalization, a little note of prayer. So yeah, on my Cash App, which is $ be like boy, STRUTCHEN. That's $ be stretching. And not only will you get the book, when you do that, I will also connect with you in prayer. Amen.
Love
Mm.
it. And we can't have enough of that, can we? We need prayer.
No.
We need prayer. When you get a chance, all of you, when you get a chance, if you can type in the comments section on Facebook, I'll share it to my Instagram and YouTube where they can find your book. Whether, and then even the information like author Bobby just gave, the Cash App, if you want to put that in there as well. Please make sure you do that so that everyone will be able to get these books. We want them to get them. Author Linda said, don't wait. Did y'all hear her? She said, don't wait. You're going to do it now. You're going to do it now. Okay. Let's see. Miss Author Spencer. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I know you were, I think you were trying to show it on your phone. Your book
Yes, I
cover.
was.
Can you hold it up again for me? Okay, wonderful. Let's see. Yep, going through. Just as simple as that. Are those doors?
Yes, those are doors.
Come on. If you don't make that plain and clear, going, y'all, I could just stop right here and just take a dance. My word, I love it. These covers, and see, this is what you want. And that was another thing, even as I was writing, I wanted to make sure the cover needs to grab the attention. It has to grab the attention. If somebody walking in the bookstore or online or whatever, your cover should be able to grab their attention. And I believe all of you have done just that. So that's beautiful. You get the attention. You what that mean, bad girl? Well, am I a bad girl? Honey, yes, I am. Okay. All right. All right. Love it. Okay. Let me read some of these comments here because I don't want to overlook anyone that has shared a comment because I did encourage you to do that. Let's see. Cynthia's Carter Spencer is spreading God's word. Did she give you a whole government name or something? Is that what happened?
You know what? She probably shared it on Facebook.
Oh, that's what you're on Facebook. Okay, gotcha. All right, Gina, thank you. And Douglas Spencer, who's that? Good afternoon, everyone.
My son.
Oh, that's your son. Is that the same one in Spain?
That's the second. No, that's the one here in Indiana where I am.
Okay, well, y'all better support y'all mama. You hear me? Love it. I love it. Let's see. Rachel Gary says, good morning. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. I did read the comment from your son in Spain. I see Auntie Deborah. Thank you for coming in and joining us on today, stepping out of this box of fear and being further rejected. Now, she lost her husband in the past year ago. So she's still dealing with some things. And so when you talk about the, going on and overcoming and dealing with what, your own personal journey, I appreciate her coming in and sharing comments with us on today. Let's see. Rachel says that is great that she was able to overcome every obstacle. Yes, love it. And I'm indebted to all of you women who have overcome all of your oppositions. See, you guys are encouraging people. People. And she even said, y'all stay encouraged. Thank you, Auntie Deborah. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Deborah.
All right, wonderful. And Author Farron says she loves it. Author Bobby, that's a beautiful journey. Okay, beautiful. Gina says Dr. Holloway is educating our children on topics that is hard for parents to address. We need a little help. God put people in certain positions to help us. Author Natalie says, as a former educator in early childhood, Linda, I love your books. Come on. Let's support one another. I love this. I love it. Beautifully done, ladies, says Author Farron.
Thank you.
And Mr. Spain. Look, I'm giving him a new name. Mr. Spin Spain, because he's in Spain, y'all. He says, get your copy of Going Through Today. Come on, you better do that. I love that. I really, really love that. Because sometimes, and I want to talk, that's going to be my next question, talking about your support system. So thank you for coming in and giving those comments. Sabrina says, thanks for sharing our mother's words. I know how hard that was for you. Okay, whose sister is this? Who's this? Is this somebody's relative? Sabrina?
Where is it? Yes, that's my sister. That's my sister all the way from Mapleton, Georgia, supporting me in our efforts to keep our mom dream and hope alive. And I'm so glad she's here.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. I don't know why I get teary-eyed every time you talk. I don't know. Probably, because I lost my mom too, I don't know. But
Yeah.
that's a connection there. Patricia Trueblood says, Dr. Trueblood watching from North Carolina. I am an overcomer. Yes, you are. Yeah, don't you forget it.
Amen.
Yes, yes, you are.
Amen. Yes.
I
Yes,
love this.
yes.
Okay, so what I do want to ask you about your support system, because that's key and important to writing this journey that you're on, even the nomination that you've acquired. Talk to us about your support system, whatever you want to share about it, and how important it was for you to even have it. Let's start with author Cynthia.
Okay, I'm glad you started with me first because in that book, while you're going through, I also have a chapter in there talking about the support that you need when you're going through stuff. Support is everything. My two sons, of course, were definitely a part of my support team. I think you have to select the right support because everybody is not for every season. Everybody don't understand your journey. So you have to be very careful with selecting the right support group. I have two good friends, and then my sons. For some people, you just want to talk about what you're doing, what's going on. Everybody is not able to hold that for you and
Mm,
keep you accountable. Those two young men was always asking, "Mom, are you still writing? Are you finished? What's going on?" And of course, you see them show up today. Every time I tell them I'm on something or on someone's podcast, they are there to support. So your support is everything. It's so important
mm,
because you all know we got haters out here too,
yeah,
and we love them, but sometimes we got to get them off the ship at that time in this season or whatever the season is. So your support is everything.
I love it. So you only
Yeah,
have the two sons?
I only have the two sons. Yes,
I love it. I
yes,
love it. And you young men, if you're still watching, we love it. Continue to support your mom. Continue to do it. I mean, you all are throwing comments all down throughout this
yeah.
uh, interview,
those
and
are
I absolutely love it. I love it, and I encourage you just
those
to
are my
continue.
sunshines. I call them my sunshines.
Mhm. Beautiful. That's beautiful. And you guys, if you want to contact author Cynthia, there's her website. Is that right?
That's my
Counseling.
website, and they can also purchase the book there. Schedule counseling sessions. Everything is there on that website.
Love it. So there you have it
Yeah.
there. Counselingwithcynthia.com. Just as simple as all get out. Okay.
Yes,
Counselingwithcynthia.com. And you need something simple, especially when you are in need of help. You don't need to be all over the place. So that's
right.
simple. That's good. So make sure you guys contact her. Thank you for talking about your support system. Come
Mhm.
on, author Linda. What does your support system look like, and how important is it to you?
I'm gonna start with the letter part. The letter part of it's extremely important to me in terms of having a support system. You can only take yourself so far. So even though David said he encouraged himself, he still encouraged himself in the Lord. So
Mm.
I like how people have previously talking about going through, but a lot of times we as Black people we just want to get through. But when you go
Yeah.
through in terms of
Mm.
support system, you've actually built some systems in place that will work.
Mm.
It's nice to have people that will be the wind beneath your wings, and they will be your cheerleader, and they will tell you you're doing
Mm.
great things. But I also want to say that it's extremely important to have a professional support system that say
Mm.
that if you need to put a period here. That you said you want to say reach across the room, but you said too much. You describe. So having a good editor, having someone to review your book, these are people that are going to support you. They're not saying you can't do it. They're just telling you how you should do it so that you can reach the mass of the people. So I think that's extremely important. Oftentimes we look for our family for support, but sometimes you have to create your own support system. It might not necessarily be the person that you go out and you eat with and you do these various things with. So don't be afraid to create a different type of support system, because you might be doing something totally different than the people in your group. For example, it's 9 of us in our family. There's no one that has written a book. So not to say they couldn't support me through it, but I knew that I needed someone that had some background in it that could do something differently and that can encourage me during those times, in terms of marketing, in terms of getting it out there and those types of things. So support system is extremely important, and you can find them in any in different places and that you might be looking. I consider DAG to be a support system. They're very encouraging. We have the DAG 24 group thing. I'm not always in there, but I see what people are saying. They're encouraging, they're hardening you up. They're telling us, man, this is really, really, really awesome. But they also will tell you, hey, you need to do this. You should be doing this. So it's not always, great stuff that you might want to hear, but it's things that can be very helpful for you so that you can be marketable.
Beautiful.
So thank you for that question.
Yeah. It's important. I believe it is. And constructive criticism may not feel good all the time, but yeah, we can deal with it. I love that. Thank you so much. Okay, let's come on, author Bobby. Now you have a couple of different. Let me see. Look at these notes on here. Okay, so you did two different messages of how to
Right.
contact you. Okay, so talk about your support system, how important it is to you.
Okay, so I want to mention also Joyce Malone of Albany, Georgia. She played a pivotal part, as author Linda spoke about, with the editing for me, and what was different. It's a good support system with Joyce Malone, also with my sister, and you know Dr. Barbara and Dr. Carolyn again, because when I told them that the book, although it has my mother's vernacular, so then it was a place of saying, well, should we clean up the grammar? We need to make it where people can read it and identify, and but the thing was, it wasn't my voice, remembering that the book is Bessie, the voice of an overcomer. So in that sense, that was a bit of a, I want to say, a meeting of the minds, but they still supported me. As author Linda said, they didn't just let me, okay, do it the way you want to do it, but they took care of me as they helped prepare the book.
Beautiful.
So that my mother's voice, which is the story, didn't get lost in all of the grammar cleanup. And even with the book cover, it could have been a whole lot of other things. That was a question. Should her face be on the book? Maybe not. Like you say, you got to be able to grab someone's attention. Well, having that community of professional people like Dr. Barbara Whitehead, who is a publisher, and having Dr. Carolyn Stevens, who, my goodness, name it. I mean, she's all of that professionalism in how to publish, market, and everything. But they took care of my book by maintaining the integrity of the title. It couldn't be changed so much that, hey, everybody buys the book, but she's not in there. So it was very important to have a community who not only will help impart skill, knowledge, open platforms for you, marketing. They brought all that to the table, but in the midst of it, because they were a community of faithful believers, they stayed true to the integrity that it matters. I remember one time it was kind of cleaned up. When I looked at it, I said, that's not my mama. She don't talk like that. And so we got to be concerned, just what you're saying. If you put out a book, and like you said, I have an accent, she sure did too. When you buy the book, you may say, well, she didn't use perfect grammar here. That's because she was illiterate. She came up in the 1940s where slavery was very much alive. Her opportunities were limited, but it did not prevent the wisdom of God,
No,
who is an omniscient God. He's all-knowing. So in the vernacular, as you turn the pages, reading, walking on streets of gold, you're going to hear the voice of a mother. You're going to hear the voice of a believer. You're going to hear the voice of a woman who was ostracized in her own race for being dark-skinned. So all of that comes through the pages because I had a supportive community. And it does matter that even in writing your book, you can't turn the book into what somebody else wants because your words aren't in there anymore.
Yeah.
It matters that your words, your voice, your experience, whatever that is that you're bringing to the page, it's good to have a community who will respect that while imparting into you how to make it marketable so that it gets in the places it needs to go. I must also pin God right there because I did not expect to get an award. I did not get this right here, being here with you, Annette. This is like out of a fantasy. I mean, this is the stuff that I would have looked for if I was writing it to do a book. But this with you is like God promised that he gave to my mother. He told her, listen, you did not suffer through all these things and it's going to be hid. I'm going to use your voice, even though you're not the minister on the mic, even though you're not a motivational speaker, even if people look at you and say, no, not her, she's too old. God promised her, I will open the door and your voice will be heard in the earth because your voice is my voice and my voice is going to be heard.
Yeah.
So community means everything. And listen, don't underestimate who those people are. As Sister Linda just spoke, sometimes they're not in the family. Sometimes it's just one or two people in the family. Sometimes it's one or two people in your church, one or two people on the job. You know what I'm saying? And then there's some folks you can't even tell. Don't tell me. Don't talk to them. Just as soon as you say, I'm thinking about writing a book, then they got something to just, oh, you right. Just tell them you right. That was so stupid. I don't know where that come from.
Right. See there. I get it. You know what, you saying something there. I know we only have a few minutes left, but you ladies, I have tremendously enjoyed each of you and your journeys, talking about yourselves and how you got to this point. I'm in awe of what I've heard on today, and I'm just praying for each of you, bidding you all Godspeed in your journeys, whether it's your first book, second, third book, or whatever it is. Continue on. Let's see. Dr. Whitehead did join us, and she was telling you, thank you, Linda. She also said divine connections make a difference. She says, Bobby, you are so courageous and anointed. Never stop. You are fully supported. You have a whole army. Beautiful. See, good. I'm glad somebody else crying instead of me.
Yeah.
What happened? The Spencer young men are throwing up the hearts. Come on, Douglas, and what's the other one first name? Brandon. Come on, Douglas and Brandon. I look. I'm gonna have to snatch them and adopt them as my nephews or something. You know, I love it. Gina said, "I told you they were the bomb," and
Thank you.
you're accurate. You're accurate. This has been wonderful, tremendous. I want to thank each of you for taking time out on today to share with us, to make things known to us, to encourage, because you have encouraged others on today. You all said so many things, and I went through a myriad of emotions in 2023 with the nomination and winning the award. But I also went through a myriad of emotions in 2022, writing the book and having it come out. So I'm right there with you. I can understand, I can connect. And this has been tremendous. And I just pray God will just continue to bless you all in everything you go to say and do, because you are giving of yourselves and you're desiring to help someone else. You're desiring to pay it forward and do what God has for you to do. So you all be encouraged. Okay. Be encouraged. Be encouraged. And the award ceremony is November. Somebody help me out.
November 10th.
All of y'all should have rattled that off real quick.
Yeah.
November 10th.
November 10th.
November 10th. November 10th.
That's right.
And I believe you can still get tickets. Gina, if you are still on, go ahead and throw the link if you would not mind, or any other author. Somebody can throw the link in there where people can go to get their tickets, because it is going to be in the Midwest on this year. It's going to be in Park Forest, Illinois. I believe I have that right, at Studio 47. And that's a beautiful place, a beautiful theater. So you guys can make sure you join them. Thank you, Gina. She put the link up. Okay. You guys do not hesitate. If you do not have your tickets, go ahead and please get them. It's what, a month from tomorrow, right?
Yes.
So it's all, we're almost there, almost there. All right. And I believe the theme is everything that glitters is gold.
Is gold. Everything that glitters is gold.
I love it. I love it. This is so beautiful. You guys, again, thank you so much for your time on today. I appreciate each of you. And I don't want to take too much more of your time. I know some of you are at work and you need to do what you need to do. Those that will be watching later, make sure you look at the links. You go ahead and purchase these books, support these women of God, because they're doing great work. Author Cynthia, I pray God will bless you on your sermon that you have on today. He will just anoint you for his glory in the name of Jesus. And all of you, just continue blessings. All right. I feel like I've gained 3 new sisters on today. So I appreciate you all. And I thank God for you. So we're not stopping. We're going to continue, guys that are watching and listening us. We have at least 3 more authors from Distinguished Author Guild, the nominees for 2024, on this evening at 6 p.m. I need you guys to join me, because I want you to get to know these other individuals as well. We did a whole slew of them last month in September, and we're finishing up here in October. It's a great organization, Distinguished Authors Guild. It's wonderful to have the award. It's wonderful to be recognized. And Linda, you hit it on the head when you mentioned sometimes if you get nominated, you don't get the award. It's still a blessing to even be nominated, and you don't take that for granted. So this is beautiful. Congratulations, Cynthia, says Dr. Barbara Whitehead. And Gina says, I love it. All right. These are great comments. Thank you all for joining us. And we appreciate each and every one of you. Oh, Bobby, you said something okay. She says, I love all my family who are supporting me. Thanks, a whole big fat bunch. I love that. Yes. Come on now. Let me put this over here so they can see it. Yes, love it. That's from Bobby. And I'm sure the others will echo the same sentiment about their supporters as well. This has been great. You guys watch this promo for this evening, please. 6 p.m. I won't take too much of your evening time, but 6 p.m. tonight. I need you to join me for more Distinguished Authors Guild 2024 nominees as we interview them. All right. We'll see you guys soon. Take a look at the promo. Right. On the next session of Get Caught in a Net.
Get caught in a net with Annette. For your mind, body, and soul gets caught in a net with Annette. It's your intellectual radio show. get caught in a net with Annette.